I first wanted to start out talking about the upcoming album, Eternal. I'm really excited about this one. It has some amazing songs. What made you decide to do the classic country cover album?
I think I started out singing a couple of these songs in my show, and I got such great reaction. And my mom, I came from a family act. My mom, dad, my little sister, and my mom always sang "Help Me Make It Through the Night," which was an old Sammy Smith song, but also Chris Christopherson, who I love, wrote it. And so that's one of the first songs I thought I'm going to put this on my album, and I was singing it live, and then it kind of snowballed from there into my favorite Patsy Cline song, my favorite Loretta Lynn song, Larry Gatlin, and my husband really is the one who said, let's do an album of all these songs that you love. And some of them are pretty obscure. Some of them might have never been heard of before. But what I really love the idea of is bringing some of the old songs to the new fans out there that haven't heard these before, because we have so many young fans now that love country music, and the lines are so blurred, and it's my version of these songs, and I come from singing soul and country and putting as much of my stamp on it, I guess, as a singer as I can. So it's kind of a different thing for me, but I think I hopefully give the respect that the songs are due, so I'm excited.
Definitely, and I think that's a really good point that you bring is, we do have so many young fans in country music that some of these people don't know some of the classics, so it's kind of great to show that, a good song's always a good song, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think we had some great songs back then, and they still need to be around, and I was talking about, like, Loretta Lynn's life, Coal Miner's Daughter. That movie is so incredible of what she went through and how, she came to be who she is, and how her music is eternal, and it's never ending, and I love it, and I love to kind of pay tribute to those people. That is the whole reason I started singing country music in the first place.
Definitely. Well, I'm really excited about it. And were there any, I'm sure it was hard to narrow it down. Obviously, you have your favorites, but were there any that, like, you wish you could have cut that you couldn't fit on the album?
Oh, definitely. So many songs. I wanted to put a brand new song on there, and I do have a song called Wide Awake that's all about snoring. It's a tribute to my husband and to all the wives and people who have to put up with a snoring person in their bedroom when they're trying to sleep. But yeah, we just, my husband loves some of the songs, and he brought them to me, and I brought some songs to his attention, and it was just really a combined effort. But yeah, I could have probably done a 30-song CD if I had the time and the money.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned Wide Awake. I was going to ask you about that song. Did you just include that? It's you've sang that at your live shows, right? Was it kind of like a fan favorite that you want to just add out?
Definitely. I've had so many fans say, where can I get that song? And my dad and I wrote it together, because my stepmom is also a champion snorer. So he said, let's write this song together. Let's do this. And we kind of did it as a joke, And then it just turned into, hey, let's play this on stage and see what reaction we get. And the reaction was so good, so we had to put it on there. So.
Oh, awesome. Just a nice added bonus, kind of have an original one on there too, definitely. And I know producing the album, right? You and your husband produced it together. What is it like to be on, that side of things versus just being the artist? And, like, how is it working with your husband? Have you guys worked together a lot in the past?
We have been working together for the 18 years we've been together, pretty much. But I come from a family where we were all on the bus together, with 7 dogs, hurling ourselves down the highway, playing fairs, festivals, wherever they would have us. So I kind of have worked with my family my whole life, and then when I met my husband, and he was a musician plus an engineer and a writer, we just really were in sync with each other, and so my little girl, now comes out on stage and sings with us, and it's like the second generation of the Murphy family and what I grew up with. So I've always loved surrounding myself with family. It makes me more comfortable to have that support. So I work with my dad and my stepmom. My sisters sing, and they're always around, and my daughter and my husband. So of course we have our fights, and of course there's differences in the studio, but he always helps me bring out the best in me vocally, and so it's a great thing. It's worked well for us.
Family affair kind of thing. And one thing I think is really neat, you started your own label, and you're working with a lot of new artists. I know Rochelle Lene, she's amazingly talented. And what has that been like for you, starting and working with the people that are kind of the next generation in the music?
Well, it's always great to inspire people and to be inspired. You know, I mean, it's like music feeds more music and feeds the passion. You know, and I think surrounding yourself with young energy, because I've been singing since I was 8 years old, but it infuses a new life into, you know, kind of like making you want to write a new song. Every time you write a song that you love, it's like, oh, I want to write again. You know, or something can inspire you to bring out, you know, more music out of you. And I think that's the most important thing, is to just be creating new content all the time.
And what got you the idea? You just knew you wanted to kind of dabble in that area, or was there like, was it an artist that you met that you thought, I really want to help this person, or how did it all get started?
It was people coming to me. It's funny because when I was on the road, people would say, would you take my tape, or would you take my CD, or would you take my, you know, can I show you my lyrics and see what you think? And um, it was interesting because at that time I was so busy, and it was kind of like, oh, why are, you know, they asking me? I feel, you know, bad looking at someone's lyrics and critiquing them. But then it came to, I want to come to Nashville and record, you know, would you ever help me in the studio? And so I said, well, I definitely, you know, might if I had time. But, you know, fast forward a couple years later, and my husband and I utilize our studio so much, and we have so much. Some people come in from out of town. They come from New York. They come from California, and so it's been great. I mean, I've met and made so many friends, new friends, and keep in touch with a lot of the moms, especially.
Well, you're definitely one to do the job, because you've had an amazing career and continue to have so. I remember listening to Trying to Find Atlantis. I blasted that song over and over again. And what would you say over the years, as you look back at your amazing career, were some career pinch me moments that are just like, I cannot believe this is happening to me?
Being on the Grammys for me was a big one, and presenting the nominees, you know, the people who had won, being a presenter, was really, really cool for me, you know, because I've always looked up to the Grammys. Plus, I got to go into the Grammys in the school and be one of the people on a panel with some, you know, just incredible video makers and producers and different artists. And I think singing with them on stage and just collaborating. Whenever I collaborate with other artists, it always inspires me, you know. I love it.
Awesome. And 2014 just got started. We're just kind of getting going. What, besides, you know, Eternal, are you going to be out on the road? What are you doing with your label? What is this year looking like for you?
Well, Rochelle's new single just got started playing on XM yesterday. We're really excited about that. It's called Touch the Stars. She's going to be making a video. I'm going to be making a video to Wide Awake, the snoring song. So getting the album out there. And I'm also on the road with my buddies Ty Herndon and Andy Griggs and Billy Dean. And I play a lot of shows with these guys. And recording and producing and writing with people, and just keeping the ball rolling.
Andy is on the new album, right? Does Andy sing on the album?
Yes, we sing Golden Ring together.